Welcome to this week's Technique Tuesday. This week's defense is against the tackle, so stick with us and remember to train in safety. This week's defense is against the tackle. If your opponent steps forward, tries to tackle you down to the ground, first thing you want to do, sidestep, hook under your opponent's armpit, and grab the back of your opponent's head. Use your other hand for reinforcement. Step back, take your opponent down in a small circle. You're going to flip over from here, hook both arms underneath your opponent's elbow, lift up, execute an armbar. Lock your opponent off. From the other side, your opponent steps forward and tries to tackle you. Side step, move out of the way of his energy and hook underneath your opponent's armpit. Wrap around, grab the back of your opponent's head. Use your other hand for reinforcement. Step backwards, take your opponent down, small circle. They flip over. From here, use both of your arms underneath your opponent's elbow. Lift up for an armbar to lock your opponent out. Now, the key to this technique is, as your opponent comes forward, you want to move out of the way of his energy of trying to tackle you. So as he tries to tackle you and pick you up, take you down to the ground, you have to move out of the way of his energy and hook his arm then. This hooking his arm and then grabbing his head here creates a fulcrum here. Then when you press down on his head and up on his arm, as you take him down, some people will flip over and land on their back here. Then you can do your armbar technique by just placing both your arms in the back of his elbow, lifting up, lock him out. But not all people will roll like that. Some people, when you do the technique, will face plant straight down to the ground. And if they face plant here, what you can do is grab your opponent's arm, grab their wrist, and control their elbow, lift up and press down on the wrist, lock your opponent out. So two different options depending on what your opponent does. If they flip over, you can do your armbar. But if they don't flip over, you can do a regular wrist lock and it will still work. So one more time, full speed. And that's your technique for Technique Tuesday.